So to switch gears real quick, this will probably only matter for about 30% of the people that actually listen who are from our hometown. But there was recently a scandal in our hometown where a 6th grader threatened another sixth grader's life, and he said, "I will put 16 bullets in your head." And to me,
quite a lot of bullets, honestly.
That's the whole clip.
Yeah.
That's the whole clip. You know, I mean, clip sizes vary and all, but like that's the whole clip, brother. Like, damn, how much do you hate this kid? But you know, to me, hey, that's a credible threat, especially with like you not having any background information, because like anybody can have a gun.
Yeah.
Because for a 6th grader, how easy is it to get a gun? If their parents, if their relatives, anybody has a gun, you know. And the problem is a lot of gun owners. I don't want to say a lot, but there is a percentage of gun owners that aren't responsible gun owners. You know what I mean? They fail to like properly lock it up.
Yeah.
Like properly like store it.
Yeah, like there's like a bunch of kids who know where their parents' guns are at,
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
to access them, like how to unlock them and stuff like that, and then not really know how to properly use them.
Yeah.
So if it gets in their hands, it's probably gonna like result in some disastrous behavior, whether it's them like shooting themselves, shooting somebody else.
So either way, a threat was made by a 6th grader to another 6th grader, and our lovely old superintendent, shout out Canfield High School, failed to do anything about it. So I don't know how you feel about it, given the details.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like he definitely could have handled it better.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't know like all of the procedures and stuff that you should follow, and I'm not making any suggestions.
Here's the thing: the kid that made the threat was brought to the office, and then no actions or consequences were taken out. You know what I mean? Like nothing was given out. No form of punishment or consequences was then put on this kid. You know what I mean? I feel like if you make a threat like that, if you make a threat on somebody else's life, there should be at least an ounce of consequence. I don't care if you're in 6th grade. How old are you? 12. I don't care if you're 12, you're 21, you're 41, you're 81.
Yeah.
181. I don't care how old you are.
Here's the thing. I don't know. Like that's he is a kid. He does make like a dumb decision like that to say something like that. So I don't know if maybe expulsion and putting that like on his permanent record might have been the best idea, but definitely some sort of like suspension, at least some sort of disciplinary action.
But the worst part,
a letter home to the rest of the parents to make them know that there was a threat within the school, a letter to his parents to like discipline your kid at home for and I don't know, maybe raise your kid a little bit better. Right, dude. Parenting I think is a big issue. Or just like a message to them that like their kid like.
Yeah,
it would be a message for them to notice like oh maybe we should like keep better care of our gun that we have so that it doesn't end up in this kid's hands.
Especially if you know your kid has those like tendencies.
Yeah.
So like if your kid has anger issues, if your kid has like behavioral tendencies of somebody who's not mentally stable, hey, you should probably do a better job of keeping your weapons in a safe place away from their reach.
Especially like back in our day when we were in 6th grade, there wasn't like this huge like. I don't know when it started, but like I feel like mental illness and like mental like issues like this have been like sort of I don't want to say they're recent because like stuff did happen back then.
Well,
but I feel like
think
it's
people
a
are
lot more common
in
nowadays.
the open about it.
Yeah.
Which like I'm all for it. I'm all for like talking about your mental health and like mental wellness. I'm all for that. But I'm also all for putting an end to like the people that are like, oh yeah, that's like a taboo subject.
Yeah.
Let's never just never discuss it.
Yeah.
I disagree with that, and I think like there should be, especially let's say this kid, right? Yeah. Obviously he's a minor. We're not going to drop any names, but this kid needs help. You can't just like you don't say that about you don't say that to somebody.
Yeah, especially because they're so graphic.
Oh, it was so descriptive,
like,
man.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like if he would have just been like, oh, like I'll beat you up or I'll kill you. Like,
okay,
whatever.
Here's the thing. Everyone at one point or another has had somebody tell them like, bro, I'm gonna beat your ass, bro. You know what I mean?
But like the fact that this was like so
descriptive, I'm gonna empty a clip in your head.
The specific amount of bullets, the specific location.
Right.
Didn't he say he was like gonna get like his mom's gun?
Yes. He pointed out exactly. He word for word in detail told him how he was gonna carry this out.
So given that this was
kind
of like sort of premeditated,
That's very.
I feel like that definitely should have like warranted.
And the worst part is so the kid spent the day probably in the office.
Yeah.
And then our lovely superintendent, or our old superintendent, had he decided the best thing to do would be to let this kid go back home on the bus after he had just made this threat against another student's life.
Yeah, and so like here's the thing, like not to defend him or anything, because it definitely is like extremely bad, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he may have just not wanted this info getting out and about like the community, because it does kind of make Canfield look bad.
It does.
So I can understand it from that perspective, but at the same time, you have to.
Had he handled it better, yes, the information would have got out, but it looks. It looks
worse now.
Yes, it looks so bad now because you failed to do anything, and parents are up in arms.
Yeah.
They're in a tizzy, one might say, that they want him to resign, and I'm on board with that one.
Yeah, well, like, here's the thing, right, is whenever you try to cover stuff up and then it comes out later.
10 times worse when you try to cover it up and then it comes out because of the fact that you tried to cover it up.
So it's better off, like, I know, like, everyone thinks they can hide things, like, do that. It's better off to just be honest, be upfront about it.
Right.
Accept, responsibility for it and just take care, like, I don't know. Definitely should have been.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where even the
chief of police,
chief of police is blatantly telling the superintendent that he made the wrong call.
Yeah.
And that, he should have some sort of, just like for the kid, for the adult, it's all about consistency, how you handle things, right?
Especially like for that type of job, you're supposed to, like, literally your entire job is
to protect the students, right? Like that's literally one of your duties.
And like at the point where you like fail to sort of do that is like at the point where
and we're not even gonna bring up the
the other scandals
that we've seen happen throughout the years.
Dude, I feel like
one may or may not include my neighbor who he had an affair with and cheated on his wife. But we won't bring that up.
Here's the thing, I feel like all the parents within Canfield and like even like people outside of Canfield think that Canfield is just like this like nice innocent like place and like
it's not. Let me tell you,
perception is just
so wrong.
There's been so many scandals and so
inaccurate.
Much stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
like the stuff that we know. I wish we could talk about it on this.
And it really kind of bugs me because we went to the school that we did go to.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have this like predetermined judgment of us. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, all these kids are prissy and like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, listen, man. Listen, lady, whoever, listen, right? Like, if you went to school with us, you would understand that this is, it's very hearsay. Dude, when kids are not in the school, when you're in the school, if only you knew, dude. Like, if only you knew how, like, just how different it is from what you hear to what it actually is.
Yeah. That just cracked, like, dude, when some of these things came out, it just cracked me up. I was like, of course. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so, would I want to have him resign strictly because he had this scandal? First of all, I think this is enough for a resignation because you failed to do your job, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you combine it with the previous scandal that you had, which looks really bad on your character. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like somebody that's in a position of authority, and somebody that people, I guess, look up to, right? Because when I was little, I used to look up to all my elders. You know what I mean? Anybody older than me, I'm like, okay, I want to be more like them. Yeah. Right? I don't want to be like this dude that had an affair, with another teacher. Yeah. Right? That's setting a really bad example for kids. And keep in mind, this isn't just like a principle for all the old kids. This is somebody that, is responsible for all ages. Yeah. So this looks really bad.
And it's like, it's not just like you've only had an impact on like a small number of kids. Right. Like he was the superintendent when we were there. All the kids that are growing up now. So like probably like a few thousand kids, like at least like 1,500, 2,000 kids.
At the very least.
Like looked up to this person, like had him as their superintendent, whatever. So to be like that type of role model to them is like, I don't know.
And should we, if we let him continue to have the position that he does, that reflects badly on us. Yeah. Because, I guess it's in our power to either, like, have him resign or stay. Mm-hmm. And if we fail to do anything about it, what kind of example are we setting for the younger generation? Yeah. That's very, like, to me, that's a very important, like, topic. Mm-hmm. I always think about, like, what would I want, like, first of all, I always think about it like this. What would I want my younger self to, like, think about all this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, this certain situation, especially with everything that's going on in the United States right now, with all the shootings and everything, this was the worst call that you could have ever made. And, I'm not in your shoes, so who am I to, like, tell you, what to do? All I know is this was the wrong call. Yeah. That end all be all.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. You kind of messed up, man. So, and there's really no coming back from this, unfortunately. Yeah. Because your one, I don't want to say sworn duty, but your one job is to protect the kids. Look, like, you are responsible for thousands of children's, thousands of kids' safety, like, their education. So, between all that, like, you should really take your job more seriously. Mm-hmm. Switching gears again, for those music fans out there, he's never gonna drop Kanye's album. It's just never gonna come out. I mean, I feel like if you were a Kanye fan, even in the last 5 years, you know that his album never releases when he says they're gonna release.
Dude.
So
how long has this been supposed to come out for?
This is supposed to come out like last week, and then it was on Friday, and then they extended it to Sunday, which is tomorrow, I guess. But and I see kids on Twitter that are absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's not that deep. You should just, hey, low expectations, less disappointment. Life,
Hey.
Pro tip right there.
That's facts right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
not even just in music, but in life in general. Yeah. The less you expect out of things or people, the less you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's always better to undersell and overperform.
Yeah.
Than oversell and underperform. You know what I mean?
By far. That's why that's the same thing with me. Like, I set my expectations low.
Very low.
Because you never know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to eliminate that feeling of disappointment,
yeah,
you can't expect too much from
people. Right.
So.
Unfortunately, we've had to learn that, through life.
Also,
like, that's how it is.
Like, here's the thing though. Like, also, like, what's the really big deal? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, his album's been delayed like a week. Like,
right. Like, you're still gonna live, man. Like, it's not that big of a deal, brother.
Like, so I don't know.
So
that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's just a quick little thing. Back on topic with JUUL. JUUL's CEO steps down.
Interesting.
Amid all this controversy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
however, who steps up?
Who was it? The CEO of
Altria. Who is the producer of Marlboro cigarettes.
Yeah.
So one of the probably actually the most iconic and one of the biggest companies.
Yeah.
In tobacco. Their CEO steps up to take over this other industry.
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know, Altria is like a huge tobacco company, and so they actually purchased a 35% stake in JUUL for I think like $13 billion.
Oh yeah.
Which shows the value of
how
JUUL.
Like how quickly it went up in value too.
So
I
didn't like really know about JUUL until my freshman year of college, so that was like 4 years ago. So like 2015,
2016.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know, but
it's crazy because it's going to be interesting to see what direction they take it in.
Also, like, him stepping down also sort of leads me to believe that, like, he was doing some shady stuff behind the scenes, and like, because like normally that's what happens. Like, people step down before they get fired to like save face a little bit,
right?
Or like before he gets investigated.
Hey, that's what the superintendent should do, right? Hey, you should resign before more stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Because we've only highlighted 2 of your scandals, and I'm sure there's a whole lot more. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know what exactly they should do about juuling, but we already talked about this a little bit, right, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, we've covered it in like the past couple episodes.
Yeah,
but it's just such
staying hot right now.
Yeah, it's just such a big topic, and it's such like an ongoing issue.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that the deaths, that were caused by juuling has gone up.
Yeah.
Since the last couple episodes that we talked about it.
Yeah, so it's continuing to be a problem.
Right.
I mean, just a message for any younger viewers out there.
I know a lot of my viewers, I know a lot of our viewers that, use JUULS. So if you're still sucking on that stupid cancer stick, I genuinely advise to you as a friend, as somebody who you spend your Sunday evenings with, for 15, 20, 30 minutes, I genuinely advise you to stop juuling.
Yeah.
You should really be, careful and wary of what you put in your body, because what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
You're not doing yourselves any favor.
Here's my thing. I don't want to tell anybody how to live their life. I really don't care how other people live their life.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like person to person, friend to friend, I want to see longevity out of you in the long term. Right. So if you're doing something that I don't think is healthy, I'm going to let you know. It's your prerogative whether to take that advice and change it. But it's just, a small piece of advice.
Well, here's the thing. I personally know a lot of the listeners, a lot of the viewers.
Yeah.
And most of them are if they're not my good friend, they're still friends of mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and a lot of the people are people that we know from high school, people we know from middle school, people we know from college.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know a lot of you, and I care about a lot of you.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to die from cancer.
Yeah. So I mean, take the advice as you will.
Uh-huh.
If you don't want to stop, that's.
I mean, it's your life. Live it how you want.
But that's just
who am I to tell you what
advice.
to do?
We just look at the facts, look at the statistics, and we make our
just
call
make the
about
most
it.
logical decision.
Yeah.
And right now, juuling and just other e-cigarette, e-vape, whatever.
Dude, especially because literally 99% of the people that we know that use it didn't use it for its intended purpose, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
The intended purpose was like get off like real cigarettes, right? But I feel like,
dude,
I don't know a single. Okay, I don't know like a single person, but I don't know.
I maybe know. Okay, I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I maybe know 5 people tops that smoke cigarettes before.
Yeah. So this was just like they did it because they thought it was cool, or they just liked the flavor of it, or like the social gathering aspect of it. But at this point, that really doesn't hold as like a benefit to use it, right?
Right.
So I think the detriment's definitely far away.
Here's the thing. It was one thing to do it when
nobody knew.
Nobody really knew about the risks and dangers. But keep in mind, I mean, it had stuff written on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was already
cause cancer. It's just like cigarettes. Cigarettes have that label that say, hey, this is dangerous. You probably shouldn't do this. But people choose to ignore it and do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
But because I guess the severity of the effects of juuling has been so accelerated.
Yeah.
In just within the last I want to say it's been out for 5 years, right? 4 or 5 years maximum. Because just like you, I only heard about it when we went to college, right? So 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So and in that many years, the deaths has been so sudden.
Yeah.
It's like if you know about it at this point and you're still doing it, first of all, I guess ignorance is bliss. So shout out to you, because you're just living life how you want. You're here for a good time, not a long time. So you do you. Because once again, who am I to tell you what to do? But as people that I guess have done even the slightest amount of research, we could tell you that it's probably not good for you.
Like even if it's just a slight possibility that stuff causes cancer, like is it really worth the benefit to have that risk of getting cancer or whatever?
And the thing is, a lot of the people that do it only do it because of the social pressure. So people aren't doing it for the benefits. People are doing it because it's a cool thing to do, or at least it was a cool thing to do, for last couple of years.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I've been fortunate in regards to, because I don't know, I feel like I've never, my friends and stuff have never really pressured me to do stuff, and if they have, I've just been like, no, I don't want to do it, and then they're like, okay, yeah.
See, I like how for the two of us at least, it's when people go right, we go left. I'm cool with it. I'm fine if I'm the only one that's not doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, maybe several or maybe a few episodes ago, I'm not a big drinker. You know what I mean? We're about to be 22.
Dude, here's the thing about peer pressure, right? I feel like a lot of people get affected by peer pressure because they feel like if they don't do something, then their friends are gonna think they're weird, or look at them differently because they don't do the same stuff as them. And here's my philosophy, right? If people are gonna judge you based on what you do and don't do, then they're not really your friends. They don't actually care about you. Because a true friend would be like, okay, you don't want to do that, then that's fine with us.
Right.
We don't care if you want to do that. Do what's best for you, right? So at the point where you're trying to appease them, people who technically aren't really your friends, if they don't want what's actually best for you, then I think you're making a mistake there and need to reevaluate who you consider as your close friends.
Also, if they were your true friend, they'd probably tell you to stop. If you're doing something, right? If you're doing something that's not good for you, if you're a true friend, they'll probably tell you to stop.
Yeah.
I know some friends, I have some close friends that smoke, like cigarettes. And I make it a point to bring it up. I'm like, hey man, you do you, but you should probably stop.
Yeah.
I mean, because I care about them,
dude. And I
don't want them to die.
It's tough. It's tough for people to give out hard truths, and it's tough for people to receive hard truths. But at the end of the day, if that's what's best for you, I mean, sometimes it just needs to be said. Yeah.
So. I mean, I have friends that are younger than us.
Yeah.
And they're probably alcoholics.
Yeah.
They drink every day out of the week. That's not healthy, man.
Yeah.
You should give it up.
I get it. You want to have fun. You want to do all this, but at a certain point, it becomes an issue and not just a social.
Yeah. I mean, if you drink every day of the week, I think you have an issue. I'm no expert. I'm no scientist. I'm no math magician, but I think you have an issue.
You are a psych neuro major, right?
Yeah, but
so.
Even if that, I'm not gonna say that gives me any qualifications to tell you what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
But just by simple research, if you drink 7 days out of the week, you have issues, man.
Yeah.
Man, woman, whoever you are, whatever you are, you should probably, take care of your body. And like I've been really adamant about what I put into my body.
Yeah.
For like the last probably like 7 or 8 years. I'm really good on not eating fast food. Like McDonald's, Burger King, all that, you know.
Yeah,
all that
I
BS.
try not to. Sometimes I'm just like, I want.
Here's the thing, I was really good. I was really good with it all through middle school.
Yeah.
All through high school, and then when I moved, I was good for through it for a little bit of college too, and then I moved out, and now it's become a little tough.
Dude, yeah.
Purely due to convenience.
Yeah. Well, because like when we were living at home, like our parents were probably cooking for us and stuff like that, so we had home cooked meals. Didn't really need to go out, and like my family never really ate out anymore.
You know what's funny? My mom would always tell me, she goes, "You're gonna miss this one day."
Yeah.
And I absolutely do.
Dude,
so
we took it for granted.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. So mom, if you're listening, like I apologize, love you, mom, but dude, I miss my mom's cooking so much now because it's like when you have to do all this, right? When you gotta go to class, when you gotta go to work, whatever, go to school, do this, do that, right?
It's tough.
And then at the end of the day, you still have to come home and cook.
Yeah, it's
like,
so much easier.
I apologize for taking anything for granted, which I probably did.
Yeah.
So I take that back. Shout out to all the moms, shout out to all the parents.
It's so much easier to just get some fast food delivered.
Right.
Not have
easy.
to cook, not have to clean. Like, I don't know.
But like I said, if you're somebody that cares about what goes into your body, whether it be fast food, tobacco, alcohol, anything else, other hurt like drugs or whatever, you should. If you care about your body, then don't put those things in there.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's your body's important.
Right. Like I said, what you put in is what you get out. Right. You eat like garbage. Guess what? You're gonna feel like garbage. You're gonna look like garbage. You're gonna be garbage.
You want to live a long, happy life? Hey, make sure you're doing the right things for your body. So, but anyway, I think that about wraps it up, right?
That should wrap it up. This time just an episode with the boys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. More next week, possibly with a guest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends how people like it. If you like it without a guest, then I guess we'll continue just us.
Yeah.
But we'll have a guest in there.
Yeah.
Every so often.
We'll mix it up.
Yeah, we'll definitely mix it up so it doesn't get stale and repetitive.
Yeah.
So
thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate the support. You can find us on YouTube, obviously, if that's where you're watching us. But you can also find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes eventually.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
Still working on it, but we're out.
Peace.